Hi, I'm Leopoldine and welcome back to the Mindful Shift podcast. If you're new here, welcome. This podcast is designed to empower you and help you create your best life. Are you ready to overcome any obstacle between you and your manifestation? Coaching with me is now available down below in the description. It is long overdue, but today's episode is about revision. And the revision was introduced notably by Neville Goddard, and he introduced it as revising mostly past events, no matter which kind of past events. That is, old past events like your childhood, or even recent past events that happened yesterday, or even an hour ago, few minutes ago even. But revision is more than simply altering a memory, a past memory. And we will see that in details today together. Neville's method for revision involves mostly revising a past memory. That's how he introduced revision. No matter it is from childhood, a few minutes ago, an hour ago, yesterday, doesn't matter. It's a past memory that you revise. And as we all know by now, Neville's used mostly visualization, your imagination as a tool, as a technique to manifest. But you can do this with any technique you desire. We said it before, the tense you use to manifest doesn't matter. It's the intention you put in. So you can use affirmations, visualization, a conversation, journaling. No matter the method you rather like, it will work. And it's true. Neville mostly talked about revision as revising a distant past, but it can be used for any past. Even the things that happened a minute ago. How long it was doesn't matter as long as it's the past now. So you will use anywhere revision for it. And he also teach his method to revise before you fall asleep. You revise the day that just happened. And you modify any situation, any events that happen in the way you wanted them to happen. And you can do that every evening before falling asleep, or even the next day in the morning, revising yesterday. I also use that technique, but you don't have to use each and every time the technique of visualization and imagination for it. You can use just thoughts as words for it. It will work as well. And usually for it, you can say, it happened yesterday. I received that money yesterday. My SP called me yesterday. This is also revision. As affirmations or journaling you can use, or even in a conversation in your mind. And all you have to do is changing the parts you disliked about that day or that even longer past event, right? No matter how long it was. And then you repeat that new memory selected you want again and again and again, exactly like any other manifestation, but you're using a revision for the past. It happened that way yesterday or 10 years ago, or when I was that age, or when that event happened. Really, no matter the technique you choose, it doesn't matter. You are just revising and altering your past, doing so. So like I said, revision doesn't have to be used to altering distant memories. It can be what happened yesterday, or even an hour ago, like a conversation you just had with your SP, and maybe you had an argument. You can revise that as if it never happened, or the conversation ended and your SP was agreeing with you, or just it never happened, and repeating yourself, no, it never happened. It never happened. We are great. We never had an argument. It can really be applied for recent past events. You can revise any type of past. And it is also an excellent tool to break old patterns. Any habit you have, any negative thought patterns, you can break that with revision really fast. For example, if you find yourself always procrastinating. You've always been a procrastinator. You're lazy, you're always procrastinating, or you find yourself thinking, I am always procrastinating. I have always been procrastinating about this subject or about that, or in general. Maybe you always let deadlines sneak up on you. Well, revision can literally help you break that pattern. And instead of thinking you're always overwhelmed and you're always struggling to focus until it's too late or almost too late. You just have to revise your approach, your perception of time management. And for that, honestly, and it's not only for revision, you heard me use it a lot, but you can use the word always. It has always been this way. It's really a mind trick for your subconscious. And you do that, revising your behavior, your self-concept about this, instead of focusing on how things are right now, on your current situation that that you don't want anymore, because it can be for any desire you have. So let's set another example. You've always been anxious about speaking in public. And in the past, every time you had to speak publicly, stressed, anxious, nervous, sick even, you can totally revise that and how things were by choosing a new identity. And then you can think or imagine yourself always have been confident and speaking with ease in front of others. And you engage them effortlessly as if it's second nature for you. You can literally apply revision for any area of your life. Improving your relationship, any type of a relationship, or even revising your self-concept and choosing a new identity. All you have to do is telling yourself over and over again that you are this new identity, that you actually always been like this. So when you want a situation to change, or you want to stop reacting in the same way to something, all you need to do again is start to change your thoughts about it. And you can revise by affirming something new as if it's always been like you wanted it to be. Instead of reaffirming your old past identity, you choose to focus on the new way and telling yourself that it has always been true for you. You are choosing a different reality for yourself. When you are revising the past, you choose to think of yourself differently than you were before. And yes, you choose it in the present, and therefore it will change your past. So let's come back to the example about you speaking in public. You always struggle with it. You've always been nervous about this, right? For example, how you have to do to revise this is thinking consistently something like, I have always been a confident public speaker. And when you use the word always, or stating that has always been the case in the past, you are choosing a new truth for you, a new identity, even if you never felt that way before, even if you never experienced before that. But you saying you have been and you have experienced that will make it true for you if you repeat it. It will trick your brain. And if you don't want to use affirmations, conversation, or journaling for it like that, you can also use, like Neville, your imagination and just imagining yourself on stage and being confident in that moment in a short scene that you repeat again and again, exactly the same thing. That implies that you have always been confident to speak in public. You're literally not just speaking in front of an audience, you are radiating, glowing when you do it. You are making eye contact, you are engaging with your audience, you're sharing your message with ease, and by visualizing this, you are literally choosing that new identity and tapping into it every time you think that. Let's pick another example. You've always been criticizing yourself from the past decision you've made, and let's say about your career, about the job you had. Perhaps you even feel like you've always made the wrong decisions and guilt-tripping yourself into that cycle, that you are literally not living up to the potential, or you are not where you want to be because you made that in this decision. All you have to do to change this and break the pattern is telling yourself something like, I have always made wise choice considering my career. I have always made the perfect choice for me. I have always made the perfect decision concerning my jobs. And because you use always as a term, it has to have always been the case in your mind. You will start to perceive what happened differently. The more you will repeat that to yourself, the more you will choose that new identity, the more you will perceive those past situations differently and what happened differently. And it's the same thing that will happen for anything you want to revise, for any desire. And things will happen in your current reality, in your present, that prove that it has always been the case for you. You only have to repeat to yourself things like, I have always been an amazing public speaker. I've always been so confident on stage. I have always made the perfect choices for my career. I always only make the best decision for myself. I always make the perfect choices and the best decision I can ever make, no matter what. I have always been happy and fulfilled in my life. I have always been lucky in love. I have always been lucky. And when you do this, you tell your subconscious mind that it is the truth for you. And the more you will repeat it and repeat it and repeat it again, the more you will choose those type of of thoughts, revising your past, telling yourself it has always been this for you, the more your mind will think it's the truth. And then you will see proof in your present. And then you will start to think, oh yeah, actually, yes, it has always been true anyway. And when you revise, there is no old pattern to recreate because you're already revised. You don't have to work so much on shadow work, on improving yourself, on healing. And I don't say it's a bad thing. You can make an easy choice for yourself and revise the past as if it never happened. They're gone. Nothing to work on. Because anyway, and I experienced that myself, you can start working on yourself, healing yourself, doing shadow work and stuff like that. And then you are just stuck in a cycle of doing it for years. And you will always find something new to heal, always find something new to work on for yourself. And yes, that's great, but at the same time, don't you want this to be over and move on with your life and get out of those same patterns? This is a decision you need to make for yourself. And sometimes it's okay to want to revise those patterns as if they never existed in the first place, as if you've always been another version of you are selecting right now. And it's okay. It won't be for everyone. Sometimes you want to keep things, experience that happened because it made ourselves right now, and we're okay as we are. And that's totally fine. Revision won't be for everyone or for everything. But it's okay also to want to change what happened in the past if we don't want to keep this in our reality. You can even use revision, imagining you are spiraling about your SP, having an argument in your head about your SP, and you have that for 3-4 hours. And then you realize you are just getting in your old pattern of thought. You can just in that moment choose to revise. Those 3 hours never happened. You never spiraled about this. You have been sticking on your mental diet perfectly. And if you keep repeating that to yourself for a few minutes, 15 minutes, that's why you don't need to guilt trip yourself anyway. You can literally break any negative cycle and pattern you have. You don't want them anymore in your life. And therefore, creating more easily a new reality for yourself. So imagining you have always been struggling with your health. More as in you're always tired. You're always tired when you wake up. You're always tired during your day. You have no energy to do anything. Such a thing. And instead of repeating to yourself every day, I am so tired. I am always so tired. I have always been so tired anyway. You could choose to start telling to yourself, I have always been so full of energy. By telling yourself this, you are not only changing how you view your past and how you view yourself in the past, you are actually also rewriting your past experiences and choosing a new story for yourself, that it will change your present as well. And that's what we aim for. Because this is always about the present, even if you're recreating, retelling yourself in the past differently. This is to impact what is happening right now, what you are choosing right now. Another example could be, again, if you are feeling stuck in your job. You've always been underappreciated. You've always had a worst job. You never had a promotion. No one recognizes your work or your value at work. And instead of repeating to yourself again and again, I'm stuck in bad jobs, have always had the worst jobs anyway, you could literally start telling yourself, and yes, it is a choice and a decision you need to make moment by moment. I've always had successful, meaningful careers. Everywhere I worked, my value and my worth is recognized. Those chosen type of thoughts will shift your reality and will shift your perception of things as well. And if a change of your job is needed, it will happen to prove you're right. Anything will move to prove you're right anyway, and everyone as well. Because when we state that something has always been true for us, we are just recreating a new story, and it will impact our past, rewriting our past, but also impact our present and our future. Let's take an example for relationship. If you are constantly telling yourself, I have always had supportive and amazing friends, it will literally change your mindset, and suddenly your brain will start to see the positive in your current relationship with your friends or how you are supported by them. But also, you will literally attract or bring new relationship, new friendship as well. It's literally like restarting a movie or even a game with a new ending to it. You are choosing a new path, a different direction. And instead of focusing on life challenges, and how it has always been the case for you. Like, life has always been so difficult for me. Life has always been so hard. I have always struggled in life. I am always so unlucky. There is always something going wrong, you can start telling yourself instead, life has always been so easy for me. I have always been lucky in my life. Everything has always been working out for me. Everything has always been working out in my favor. I have always been getting my way anyway. And as you embrace those new type of thoughts, that new perspective, telling yourself it has always been the case anyway for you. What you struggled with in the past will start to fade, and you will be likely not to experience this type of struggle again. And the thing is, you are not only changing your past memories or recalling happy memories, changing those type of things like in the past, you are literally impacting your present and your future doing so. By choosing a different identity, you are actively rewriting your story. So if you are truly ready to change a pattern you had in your past, something that you see recurring and repeating itself, no matter it is related to work, health, relationships, or even your self-concepts for any desire you have, you just have to start declaring your new truth, your new chosen identity, your new state of mind, because this is a state. Choosing that it has always been this way for you is just a state of mind. For example, if you choose that you have always been poor and you have always been struggling for money, it is a state of mind. That's all it is. And you can choose the opposite and the things that you want, that you have always been his with money and you have always had money anyway, and money has always been easy to get for you. That's two different states of mind. All you have to do is choose one, the one you want, obviously. You have to just to tell yourself that it has always been the way you wanted it to be, and you will start to see change in your current reality, in the way you perceive things, even whether in the present or in the past. No matter the tense you use, everything you think consistently and believe shape your reality, shape your experiences. Manifestation is just actively choosing moment by moment how you want your experience to unfold. It's just choosing to identify yourself with what you think the most of, and will more likely become your new belief once you've experienced it. Because a reminder, this is how it works. That's why you've always been doing it your whole life. For anything, everything you see around you is a state of mind. It doesn't have to be conscious. Most of it is subconscious now. It is all about who you identify yourself as, because your reality will reflect that identity and those beliefs day by day. And if you use any technique you ever like to change your perspective about things, to change an experience you had over and over again in the past, because you don't want that to repeat itself again in the present, right? Or in the future. You want to break the cycle. You can transform and shift any experiences you had by using revision. You can break those type of cycle. And when you do that, yes, you are literally rewriting your past. Doesn't really matter if it happens to you time and times again, or if it just happened once. You can use revision for any type of past scenarios. You can shift what happened in the past, no matter it has been years or an hour ago, a minute ago. At any moment in time, you can revise your past. Like you can choose again at any moment. Don't forget that you have that power. You are the creator of your reality. All you have to do is repeat those new type of thoughts until your subconscious believes it and proves you right in your present, because it will. And then you will realize that yes, it has always been this way anyway. It has always been true for me. This is really a powerful way to reshape and shift your reality fast and any type of situation or pattern you have, and manifest faster anything you truly desire. Let's be honest. Most of the time, our mind clings to past negative experiences. And that's why we have some resistance to. We have experienced this and we cling onto that, even though this is not what we want to experience. But if we start to swap and shift our thoughts and change our past by telling ourselves, no, actually, it has always been like this for me. We are kind of shrinking our mind too. And we can recreate our reality also in a more easy way if it's a resistance we have because of our past, for example. When you use revision, you are letting go of past experiences, of old thoughts pattern according to what you are revising, things that may have holding you back, and you are replacing those with new identity, with new pattern, with new way of thinking. That's all you are doing actually. And once you have changed your perception about the subject and what you desire, with repetition, we start to believe this is true for you, even before you experience it sometimes. It's not really much about changing what happened in your past, but changing the way you are perceiving things things in your past, perceiving yourself in the present, and what you will experience and experiencing right now, because it has always been true for you. It really is about reframing, shifting how you perceived those past experiences so you can see yourself differently in what you experience right now. This is always about the present anyway, even when you are revising the past and you are choosing a new identity that you tell yourself have always been true for you, so you can identify yourself faster and more easier to that new version you want to embody and be. And I intend that this video will make it clear for you. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Remember, it's not the end until you get what you want. Have an amazing week ahead and take care of yourself. I will see you in the next video. Bye!